Hello, I'm Carmen Colosi, a Stratfor Latin America analyst at RANE. This podcast is brought to you by RANE Worldview, powered by Stratfor, the world's leading geopolitical intelligence platform. Learn more at worldview.stratfor.com.
You're listening to RANE's Essential Geopolitics podcast. I'm Emily Donahue. Mexico's tourist resorts in Baja California and the Yucatan Peninsulas have been long considered to be safe from cartel violence that racks other parts of the country. However, that reputation is in danger. Cartel violence has now spread to these areas. The most shocking incident occurred in November when 15 cartel gunmen arrived by boat outside two luxury resorts in Cancun to kill drug dealers on the beach. So why is this happening? Here with guidance is Blake Latham, Global Security Analyst at RANE. Welcome, Blake.
Hi, Emily. How are you today?
I'm great. Thanks for asking. Why have Mexico's tourist resorts become more violent recently?
Yes, so the increase in violence outside of these tourist areas, which again, as you said, were normally considered to be really the most safe places to be in Mexico. The violence has increased in these areas because cartels such as the Jalisco New Generation Cartel, the Sinaloa Cartel, and local criminal organizations have recently been stepping up extortion of the tourism industry. So they've been extorting hotels, vendors, other merchants, and stuff that cater to this industry. So naturally, when you have these groups moving into these areas, they will come into conflict. And I want to be clear here. These groups are not directly targeting tourists. In fact, in many cases, because tourists often do purchase narcotics from them, they view them more as customers. However, they do not really have any reservation about carrying out these hits in crowded areas or areas that tourists will be. So, as these criminal activities in these areas do increase, it's more likely that tourists will be caught in this type of crossfire just due to close proximity.
So what's the Mexican government done in response to such incidents?
So the Mexican government has recently deployed additional police and National Guard troops to these tourist areas. This could definitely make a significant impact on, reducing this violence in these areas. It will likely shift to other areas. And in addition, it is quite shocking to see, armed, uniformed military and police on the beaches as people are trying to sunbathe and enjoy their holidays.
So will these actions deter any such incidents from occurring in the future, or double question here, will criminals continue moving on into these areas?
So these actions may cut down on the initial violence. It is true that Mexico's president has prioritized building up the tourism industry, especially in the Riviera Maya region where Cancun is located. So it is likely they will try to address these issues. However, the heavy-handed response, as I alluded to earlier, may discourage tourists from traveling to these regions, which could be definitely counterproductive. In addition, as these cycles of violence in these tourist regions do spiral out of control and tourists are fearful of going there, criminal groups will naturally move in. A great example of how violence can creep into these tourist areas is the city of Acapulco, which was once considered to be a jewel of Mexico's tourism industry. After the collapse of a cartel in the 90s, cycles of violence erupted, and now the city is one of the most violent in the world.
Yeah, I remember the days when people in Texas could just hop across the border for the day, but now, in early 2000s, that area became violent and dangerous as well.
Yes, certainly. And Tijuana is another city that used to, be considered one of those quick hop-over tourist cities. And now Tijuana actually has the highest homicide rate in the world. So it's very difficult to recover from these types of things once these cycles of violence erupts. Now, the Riviera Maya does have major deployments and such of troops, which could help significantly reduce it. I know that this is sort of the main prioritization of the tourist region. Manuel Lopez Obrador, Mexico's president, he has really been trying to get a train line up in there and do other types of economic development, including a new airport. So it does seem he is very committed to stopping the violence in this region. Only time will tell to see who really wins out in this ongoing struggle.
Thanks for that analysis, Blake.
And thank you, Emily, for having me on.
Blake Latham is a global security analyst with RANE. Sign up for RANE Worldview and get access to the entire global geopolitical forecast for 2022. You can visit stratfor.com for a special subscription price. That's stratfor.com. I'm Emily Donahue. Thanks for listening.